أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu and welcome to today's class. I hope and pray that everyone is doing very well. Jazakumullah to all who have joined the class on time today. We'll start with our opening dua. If you could please have a student on the mic for that.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes, could we have G1515, please?
G1515. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. We're going to start with Dawood. Would you like to read this, please?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
Good. And Tasmiyah?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Brilliant. Well done. Just read the translation before we move on.
I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the rejected.
Good. And Tasmiyah?
In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful.
Good. The gracious, the merciful. Well done. And let's go down to today's dua. Now, do you know this dua off by heart, by memory?
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so you can read this by yourself, okay, today. So off you go.
Rabbi zidni ilma.
Good. Well done. With this, just say Rabbi.
Rabbi.
Good. Rabbi zidni ilma.
Rabbi zidni ilma.
Excellent. Good. Well done. So it's a lovely prayer to know by memory. So it's brilliant that you know it. And I hope everyone at home also knows this dua. So if you could just read the translation for me now.
Oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge.
Good. And this is from?
Surah Taha 115.
Excellent. Surah Taha from the Holy Quran, verse 115. Brilliant. Well done. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic.
Jazakallah.
Okay, so just a quick reminder about class rules and etiquettes, which I hope everyone is now very familiar with, and I'm sure everyone is practicing these etiquettes and rules at all times. But please ensure that you are logged in today with your correct IDs, and that you have done wudu before you enter the classroom today. If you haven't, please quickly go and do wudu, and make sure that you're wearing clean clothes. Your heads are covered appropriately with a scarf or a topi or a hat. And please ensure that you are sitting in a nice and quiet place. Okay, so there's no background noise behind you, and that your parents are sitting somewhere near you or next to you. Okay. Now, just a quick announcement before we move on to today's agenda and today's schedule. As you all may know, this week is our last week of this course. This is the last week of teaching and of you joining this course. We will be having a concluding session to this course on Friday, inshallah. So Friday of this week, that will be our concluding class. So I would like to request you all to please join as usual at 6 a.m., making sure that you're logged in with the correct IDs. And we'd like you to join us for the concluding session, which will take place on Friday. And that will be the last class of this course. Jazakumullah. So today's schedule of the class is as follows. Today we'll be looking and focusing on the rule of Hamza on the letter Waw. So what we should do, how we should practice, and how we should apply the rule where we see the letter Hamza on top of a Waw. So that's the rule that we're going to be covering in today's class. And this is part of lesson number 22, which we've been looking at this past week. And last week as well, we started. So lesson number 22, which focuses on miscellaneous rules. So today we'll be looking and practicing exercise 22.4. So that's for the first part of today's class. And then for the second part of the class, we'll be practicing a surah from the Holy Quran. And today we'll be looking at Surah Quraish, which is chapter 106 of the Holy Quran. Okay, so that's the schedule for today. So let's have a look at the rule in focus. So the rule in focus for today's class is Hamza on waw. Sometimes Hamza mutaharrik, so Hamza with a stroke on it, appears on the letter waw. This Hamza that appears on the waw either carries a dhamma or a tanween on top of it. Okay, now in such cases, so wherever you see this, only the stroke or the harakat of Hamza will be pronounced, and we would ignore the letter waw altogether. So wherever you see a Hamza on top of a waw, and that Hamza will always either be carrying a dhamma or a tanween, then in that instance, we have to pronounce the Hamza and not the waw. And we've seen examples of this in the past, and in today's class, we'll be looking at this in more detail and looking at various examples from the Holy Quran where this rule is being applied. So let's have a look at an example from exercise 22.4. Over here, you can see I've highlighted this portion of the word. We see we have the letter waw, and sitting on top of it is a Hamza. And sitting on top of the Hamza is a dhamma. Okay, so this is a special instance in the Holy Quran where we'll see a waw and with another letter on top, which is Hamza, and then with a stroke on top. Now, in this case, what will happen is that we would pronounce the Hamza with the dhamma on top, and we would ignore the waw altogether. And like I mentioned, we've looked at a few examples before in the course as well of where this was taking place. And the analogy or the picture that we tried to paint was of a chair and a person sitting on top of that chair. So for example, I'm sitting on a chair, and I'm assuming all of you at home are also sitting on a chair. Okay, so all of us are sitting on a chair, and you can hear, for example, my voice, and you can't hear the chair, of course. Okay, so just like that, the waw over here is acting like a chair for the Hamza to sit on. And just like a person, you would hear the person on top of a chair, just like that, the Hamza will be the sound that we would hear and not the waw. Okay, so wherever you see this, just think of a chair and a person sitting on top of it, and it's the person's voice that you're going to hear. So it's the sound of the Hamza that we are going to hear. And in this case, you can see that Hamza has a dhamma on top of it. So we are going to pronounce it as if there was just a Hamza with a dhamma on top. So we would pronounce this as oo, oo. Okay, a 1 count sound or a 1 second sound because it's a dhamma on top. Now in this column at the bottom over here, what we've done is just to make it a bit easier for you to picture the sound that we have to make. We've written it so that you can only see the Hamza and the dhamma. So this tells us how it should be pronounced. This is how you will find it in the Holy Quran, how it's written, but how you actually pronounce it is like this, with the Hamza with the dhamma on top. Okay, so we're going to practice these examples that are found in the Holy Quran. So let's have a student on the mic, please.
Yes, we have G1333.
G1 333.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Jazakumullah for asking. So we're going to go through a few of these examples. Okay, so let's start with this first one over here. Now, we're going to start off with a ya. Okay, it has a fatha on top, and that needs to be joined onto the ba sakin. So let's join those two together. Yab.
Yab.
Good, well done. Then we have a dal with a fatha. Da.
Da.
Good. Yabda.
Yabda.
Brilliant. Well done. Now we've just seen how we should pronounce this. Can you tell me how we should pronounce this? So with the red section, yeah?
We would just
Ignore the, I think the Hamza.
Okay, so over here, what we've just learned is that we would ignore the waw. Okay, now the waw, yeah, the waw is sitting at the bottom, right? So it's acting like a chair for the Hamza to sit on. So it's the Hamza sound that's going to be made and not the waw. Okay, so the Hamza with a dhamma on top. Ooh,
Oh,
brilliant. So we're ignoring the waw. We're ignoring the letter at the bottom, which is the waw. So all together, this will be yabda'u.
yabda'u,
Brilliant. Well done. Okay, one more time by yourself.
yabda'u,
Excellent. Good. Yeah. So we're only pronouncing the Hamza with a Dhamma on top. Brilliant. Let's go on to another example. We have Alif with a vertical fatha. So 2 seconds or 2 counts.
uh,
Brilliant. Then we have the letter Ba with a fatha, followed by an Alif mad, and then a Maddul Kabir on top. Okay. So do you remember how many counts or seconds should we give to a letter with a Maddul Kabir on top?
4 to 6 counts a second.
Brilliant. Excellent. 4 to 6 counts. Okay, so we're going to say ba.
Ba,
Excellent. Good. Now, next to that, again, we have an example of a Hamza on waw. So in this case, can you tell me how we would pronounce this?
we will be ignoring the vowel and just read out the Hamza with the Dhamma.
Excellent. So how would that be then?
Ooh.
Excellent. So just like we did before, Hamza with a Dhamma. Ooh.
Oh,
Excellent. Good. Well done. Then we have a Noon with a Fatha, followed by an Alif Mad. So 2 counts for Haruful Mad. So we're saying Na.
na,
Excellent. So all together. Abauna.
abauna,
Excellent. Good. Well done. So the Alif and the Noon will be given the same amount of time. So we're giving 2 counts to both of those. Then we're giving 4 counts to the Haruful, to the Madul Kabir. So the Ba, giving 4 counts to that at least, 4 to 6 counts. So, and then the Hamza with the Dhamma on top will be 1 count. So various timings that we have to apply. So we have to take care of all of them. Okay. So one more time by yourself.
abauna,
Excellent. Good. Well done. Really, mashallah, nice to read. Let's go on to the next example. Alif with a kasra joins onto the meme sakin. Im.
im,
Good. Ra with a dhamma. Ru.
ru,
Excellent. Now, next to that, we can see that we have a waw with a hamza on top. And this time, the hamza had a dhammatain on top. Okay. So just like we read that wherever you see a waw with a hamza on top, either that hamza will have a dhamma on top or a tanween on top. So that's something over here. We see an example of a tanween on top of a hamza. So just like we did before, we pronounce the hamza and not the waw. So in this case, we would pronounce the hamza with a dhammatain. So this would be un.
un,
Excellent. Good. Yeah. So do you understand what we did there?
yeah,
Yeah. We ignored the waw. Brilliant. So altogether, this will be imru'un.
imru'un,
Excellent. Good. Well done. Okay. So it can be a bit confusing if you see a waw and then a hamza on top and then another stroke on top. So sometimes that you can be a bit confused as to what it is actually that we have to pronounce. So it's really important that we clear any confusion and we understand that is the hamza that we're going to make the sound of.
I thought whenever there's a tanween on a Hamza with the waw at bottom, I thought you do a nasal sound.
Yeah. And we just did do a nasal sound. Yes, we did on. So that and the noon sound at the end was the nasal sound.
Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. So let's try that one more time. So if you could say that by yourself.
Imru'un.
Brilliant. Well done. Excellent. MashaAllah. Really, really nicely read. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Allah Hafiz for now. Can we have another student, please?
G1 484.
G1 484. Assalamu alaikum. G1 484.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. So we're going to carry on with this exercise. So let's look at the next example. Alif with a fatha followed by a waw sakin, which makes this a waw lean. So we're going to say aw. Yep, can you repeat that after me? Are they still on the mic? 484.
Ow.
Good, well done. Lam with a kasra, li.
Li.
Good. Ya with a fatha, followed by an alif mad and then a madul kabir on top. So how many counts should we spend over here?
2 count or 2 seconds?
Okay, but do you see this madul kabir on top? Yeah, do you see where my hand is?
5 to 6.
Oh, nearly there, 4 to 6. Okay, well done. So if it was just a simple alif mad, then yes, it would be 2 counts. But because we see a madul kabir on top, that extends our timing. And that would be 4 to 6 counts that we have to spend. Okay, so ya.
Yeah.
Good, well done. Next, we have a waw with a hamza on top and then a dhamma on top. Can you tell me what we would do over here, what the rule is?
Do not pronounce the vowel.
Excellent. So what do we do? What do we pronounce then?
The hamza.
With the dhamma on top, yeah?
Yes.
Excellent. So we're going to pronounce this as oo.
Ooh.
Brilliant. Well done. Excellent. Next, we have the letter ha. It has an inverted dhamma, followed and then a maddu saghir on top. So this we are going to give 3 to 5 counts. So we're going to say who.
Ooh.
Excellent. Awliya.
Awliya. Ooh.
Excellent. Good. Well done. MashaAllah. Really nicely read. Let's move on to the next example. Ya with a fatha, ta with a fatha. Yata.
Yata.
Good. Fa joins to the ya mushaddad. Fayya.
Fayya.
Excellent. Then we have another example where we have waw with the hamza on top with the dhamma on top. So just like you did before, you would ignore the waw and you would pronounce the hamza with the dhamma. U.
Ooh.
Yatafayya'u.
Yatafayya'u.
Brilliant. Good. Well done. Let's do one more example. Sheen with a dhamma. Shu.
Shu.
Fa with a fatha. Fa.
Fa.
Good. Ain with a fatha, followed by an alif mad, and then a maddul kabir on top. So 4 to 6 counts. Ah.
Ha.
Good. Try and make that sound from the middle of your throat, okay? Ah.
Ra.
Good. Well done. Excellent. Okay, so it's a difficult sound to make sometimes, but with more practice, inshallah, it will get better. Okay, so good. Well done. Then we have a waw and then a hamza on top and dhamma on top. So just like we've been doing before, the hamza with the dhamma on top will be pronounced. Oo.
Ooh.
Noon with a fatha followed by an alif mad. Na.
Na.
Good. So we're giving this 2 counts, okay? So all together, just listen to me. شفعاؤنا.
شفعاؤنا.
Good. Give this 4 counts at least, and this 2 counts, the noon with the alif mad after it. شفعاؤنا.
شفعاؤنا.
Una.
أُولَٰئِكَ.
Good, well done. Sometimes because you've held your breath for so long because of the madul kabir, sometimes you run out of breath, but we must take care to give this 2 counts because that's the rule, okay? So 2 counts for the noon with the alif mad afterwards, okay? Well done, excellent. Just keep practicing your sound for the ayn, and remember wherever we see an alif mad, we have to give 2 count timing, okay? Well done, jazakumullah for now. Allah Hafiz.
Jazakallah, Allah Hafiz.
Can we have another student, please?
Yep. Could we have G1421?
G1421. Assalam. Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Are you all settled in?
Yes.
Okay, make sure you're sitting down, okay? All right, so we're going to start from here. Noon with a fatha, na.
No.
Good. Sheen with a vertical fatha and a maddul kabir on top. How many counts or seconds should we give this?
5.
Okay, yes, you can give 5. So anywhere between 4 to 6 seconds. Okay, so anywhere between 4 to 6, it could be 5 seconds as well. You can give that amount of time, however much you can hold your breath for. So that's something that we need to give. So we're going to say sha. Good. Then we have a waw with a hamza on top and then a dhamma on top. So can you explain to me what we should do over here and the sound that we should make? Good, well done. So what have you done over here? Which sound have you omitted?
The Hamza.
Okay, so you've made the sound of the hamza, excellent, and you've ignored the waw. Yeah, so you've ignored the waw and you've pronounced the hamza with the dhamma. Brilliant. So just like you said, this will be pronounced as oo. Now all together, this will be nasha. Excellent, good, well done. Let's go on to the next one. Jim with a fatha, ja. Excellent. Then we have a za with a fatha followed by an alif mad and a maddul kabir on top. So just like you did in the first example, 4 to 6 counts. Za. Good. Then again, we have waw with the hamza with the dhamma on top. So the waw will be ignored and the hamza will be pronounced. Oo. Ha with the inverted dhamma. 2 counts. Hoo. Good. Jaza. Uhu. Good. Be a bit longer for the maddul kabir. Jaza. Uhu. Excellent. Good. Well done. And let's do one more. Ta will join to the fa sakin. Taf. Good. Ta with the fatha. Ta. And then the hamza with the dhamma will be pronounced in this case as well, because we've just read that wherever you see a waw with the hamza, the waw will be ignored and the hamza will be pronounced. So, oo. Tafta'u. Brilliant. Well done. Now remember, hamza makes the sound like an alif and not an ayn. Okay, so just be careful with that. So even though hamza looks, the top bit of the hamza looks like the top bit of an ayn, we need to be really careful to not make that sound of an ayn. Rather, it's the sound of an alif that we're making. So nice and soft. Ooh. Good. Tafta'u. Brilliant. Good. Well done. 4-1. Really nicely read. Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz for now. Can we have another student, please?
Could we have G1322?
G1322. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. We're going to do a few more examples from this exercise. So we're starting from here. Noon with a fatha and ba with a fatha will make the sound of naba.
Naba.
Good. Then we have a waw with the hamza on top and a dhamma on top. Now, can you tell me what we would do in this case? How would we pronounce this?
We will only recite the hamza, not the waw.
Excellent. Good. So how would we say it then? Excellent. So we would pronounce the hamza with the dhamma. Ooh, brilliant. Well done. So all together, naba'u.
Naba'u.
Excellent. Mashallah. Well done. Let's go on to the next example. We have an alif over here, and then we have this blank lam, and then we have this dad mushaddad. Now the rule is that a mushaddad letter will join onto the most recent mutaharik letter. So it's not going to be the lam, it's going to be the alif that the dad joins onto. So we're going to say addu.
Addu.
Good, well done. Ain with a fatha, fa with a vertical fatha and a maddul kabir on top. So 4 to 6 counts we're going to be spending on this. Fa.
Fa.
Good, well done. And then just like you did before, in this case, the waw is going to be removed from our pronunciation, and it's the hamza that we're going to be pronouncing with the dhamma. Ooh.
Ooh.
Good. All together. Ad-du'a. Ad-du'afa.
Du'afa.
Brilliant. Good. Well done. Good timing. Okay, so we have to be careful that this is we're giving 4 counts at least, and then the others we're giving 1 count each because of the short strokes. Excellent. Let's do the last example now. Ya joins to dal. Yad.
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 Good. Now, rather than just ending your sound on the dal, make a bit of a bouncing sound. Okay, inshallah, in the future you will learn why that is. But for now, just know that there is a rule where if you see a dal with a sukoon on top, then we make a bouncing sound. So we're going to say yad.
Yad.
Good. Well done. So rather than saying yad, we're saying yad. So it's a slight bouncing sound. Okay. Ra with a fatha. Ra.
Ra.
Good. And then again over here we see a waw with the hamza with the dhamma. So in this case again, the waw will be removed from our pronunciation and it will be the hamza that we are pronouncing. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yadra'u.
Yadra'u.
Good. One more time by yourself.
Yadra'u.
Brilliant. Well done, mashallah. Really nicely read. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Allah Hafiz for now.
Allah Hafiz.
So that was the rule of hamza on waw. So once again, if you see the letter waw with a hamza on top, with a dhamma or a tanween on top of that, then we have to ignore the letter waw altogether and pronounce the hamza with whatever stroke it has on top of it. Okay, so just be careful with that and remember this rule next time you are reading from your qaida or from the Holy Quran. Okay, so now let's move on to the next part of today's class, in which we'll be looking at Surah Quraish. Surah Quraish is a Meccan surah, which means that it was revealed to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the holy city of Mecca. It is found in part number 30 of the Holy Quran, so that's the last part, and it is chapter 106. It has a total of 5 verses, 1 ruku, And it was the 29th surah to be revealed to the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So those were just a few key facts about this surah in particular that you may wish to memorize or remember. Okay, so this is the surah. Some of you may know this surah off by heart, which is brilliant. We should all aim to recite and memorize as many surahs from the Holy Quran as we can. There's so many blessings attached to that. So this is one of the surahs that you could memorize as well after class, if you don't know it already. Now I'm going to recite this surah once, starting from Dawood, and I'd like you all to please listen carefully and listen to all the rules that I'm applying. And inshallah, then we'll have students on the mic to then go through this surah with me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لإيلاف قريش إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. Okay, so that was Surah Quraish. I hope you've all listened carefully to how that should be recited. And now we'll have students on the mic to recite the surah with us now. Can we please have a student on the mic, please?
G1 501.
G1 501.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. So we are going to be reading the surah. If you could start with Dawood and Tasmiyah nice and slowly for me.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent, good, well done. So we're starting from here. Yeah, I'll read it and then I'd like you to just repeat after me. Okay, well done. I know you're eager to read it, which is brilliant. Just going to go through it. So we're just going to say لإيلاف قريش.
لإيلاف قريش
Good, well done. Excellent.
إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف.
Okay, good. Okay, just pause right there and we can go through these two verses and things we need to be careful of. Now in this verse over here, we need to be careful, and you did that really well. But the alif with the kasra followed by a ya mad, we need to stretch for 2 counts. So sometimes what happens, and a common mistake that takes place, is that the lam and the alif are joined together. So some people just say li la fi. So we need to be careful that there's an alif over here with a kasra underneath. So it's li la fi. Okay, so these are 2 separate sounds that need to be made. And then over here, you read this really well. The 2 seconds you gave to the vertical strokes, which is brilliant. And then you joined the ta to the sheen mushaddad with force and with a hard sound, which is brilliant. Then we have a ta with a fatha, and then we have this stroke on top of that. Do you know what this stroke is called?
Yes. It's named Madi Kabir.
Yeah, and how many seconds or counts should we spend on that then?
3 to 6.
Nearly there, 4 to 6, okay? So 4 to 6 for Madul Kabir, and for Madul Saghir, it's 3 to 5, okay? So just that's the difference between the 2 strokes. So over here, we need to give 4 counts at least. So make sure you take a nice and deep breath before you say this. So that was just one of the things that was something you need to improve on over here. Okay, so let's try that. رحلة الشتاء.
I think your voice accidentally cut out.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, let's try that again. رحلة الشتاء.
رحمة الشتاء والصيف.
Brilliant. Good. Okay, much better. So because it's a bit of a verse that's a bit longer, you need to take a nice and deep breath, especially when it comes to the longer strokes. So for example, Madul Kabir requires at least 4 counts from us. So we need to be careful there. Okay, let's try the next verse. Just wait for me to say it and then you can say it after me. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ.
فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت.
Good, well done. Now this letter over here is pronounced as the.
The.
Good. So at the moment you're saying the. So I want you to say the. So how that is pronounced is the tip of your tongue touches your top 2 teeth, okay? The. Good. هذا البيت.
هذا البيت.
Bait. Good, well done. Okay. So that's just something I want you to improve in your pronunciation, the pronunciation of this letter, the. Okay. So the tip of your tongue touches your top 2 teeth, the, like that. Okay. So let's try the next verse. الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. Can I say something?
Yeah.
You know, at the starting of the verse, there's something that people need to improve on. That there's an alif, and if there's no stroke on it, we pretend like there's the stroke on the top of it, and then we pronounce it as allazi.
Yeah, good. Well done. Okay, so because we don't see a stroke on the alif and the lam needs to join onto the alif, what we do, and inshallah in the future, when you go on to learning the more advanced rules of the Holy Quran, you will learn that if you see a lam after a blank alif at the starting of a verse, then that alif will carry a fatha. Okay, so that's why we are saying alladhi. Okay, so just like that, we are going to put a stroke of a fatha. Even though it's not there, we need to imagine that there is a fatha on the alif and join it to the lam like that. Okay, now well done, Masha. You read this verse nicely. It's a bit of a longer verse, so just one thing over here. You see the ayn with the kasratain. It needs to join onto the waw mushaddad. You have this thing in the middle. That's just basically telling us that don't stop in the middle of the verse and carry on. So don't stop over here. So we have to pretend that that's not there, okay? Because we need to just join the ayn to the waw mushaddad. So we are going to join that by producing a nasal sound in the middle. So if you remember your idgham rules, we're going to say inwa. Good. We're going to make a nasal sound as we join the ayn to the waw mushaddad. Brilliant.
And to me, it looked like it was a to me it was blurry, and it looked like it was a her with a shidda and a vertical fatha.
Yeah.
Because it was very blurry, and I thought it was that, but now I know.
That's fine, no problem, and that's absolutely fine because you're looking at a screen as well, so it's sometimes difficult. But this is just a lam with the alif. Okay, I know it's not too clear, but it's a lam with the alif, and this at the bottom is the Roman sign for the letter, the number 5. But just for now, know that you need to join the ayn to the waw over here. Inwa, like that, okay? So that's the rule for this. Well done, mashallah, really nicely read. Just keep practicing the surah and just focus on the things that I've just explained to you, okay? Jazakumullah. Allah Hafiz for now.
Allah Hafiz.
Can we have another student, please?
G1350.
350. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very well. Jazakumullah for asking. We're going to start with Dawood and Tasmiyah, please. If you could say that nice and slowly for me.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, now over here with Dawood, let's go to here. So this is A'udhu billahi. Okay, the ha has a kasra, not a fatha. So say that again for me, the Dawood.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Good. And the noon needs to join to the sheen with a hard sound. So we're not going to say mina shay. We're going to say mina shay.
من الشيطان الرجيم.
Brilliant. Okay, so all together, can you say this one more time for me?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Excellent. Good. Well done. Okay, so it's really important that as well as the actual the surah, we need to also recite Dawood and Tasmiyah correctly, nice and slowly, and give it the appropriate time as well. So well done for that. And we're going to start from the second verse. So follow with me. لإيلاف قريش.
لإيلاف في قريش.
Good, well done. Lam has a vertical fatha. So how many counts should we give this?
2.
2 counts. Okay, so when you read it, you said lafi. So we're going to say lafi.
لافي.
لإيلاف قريش.
لإيلاف قريش.
Okay, good. Do you see this bit over here? This is the lam, okay, with a kasra underneath. And this curved section over here is an alif with a kasra on top. So there's 2 sounds we're making here. One is the lam with a kasra, and then the next sound is the alif with a kasra, and then the ya mad after it. So we're saying li-ilafi.
لإيلافي.
Li-ilafi.
لإيفائي.
Okay, let's break that down even more. Li,
لي
I,
إي
la,
لا
fi.
في.
Okay, li, I,
لإي
la, fi.
لا في.
Good. Let's try that all together. Okay, so 4 sounds we're making there. Li, I, la, fi.
لإيفاء لا في.
Li, I, la, fi.
لإيلافي.
Good. Nearly there. But the alif sound, the E sound, needs to be stretched for 2 counts as well because of the ya mad. So let's try that again. Li, I, la, fi.
لإيلافي.
Excellent. Good. Well done. Okay, so that's how we should pronounce it, this first bit. So it doesn't matter. It's okay to take your time. And if it means that you're splitting down the word into different sections and reading it then like that, that's absolutely fine because you're in the learning stage. Okay, so just after class, especially this first bit, it can be a bit confusing. So just keep practicing this sound. Li'ilafi. Okay, the la stretched for 2 counts as well because of the vertical fatha. Okay, so that's something we need to be careful of and just keep practicing that. Okay, let's go on to the next verse. إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف.
إيلافهم رحلة الشتاء والصيف.
Excellent. That was perfect. Well done. Really nicely read. Let's carry on. فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت.
فليعبدوا رب هذا
بيت.
البيت.
Good. Well done. Now over here, we see a dal with a dhamma followed by a waw mud. So 2 counts we need to spend over here. Okay. فليعبدوا.
فيعبدوا
Good. فليعبدوا.
فيعبدوا.
Okay. After the fa, we have a lam sakin. Fal. يعبدوا
فليعبدوا
رب هذا البيت.
رب هذا البيت.
Good. All together. فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت.
فليعبدوا رب هذا البيت.
بيت. Good. Well done. Okay, that's where I'm going to leave you for now. I want you to keep practicing this surah in particular and focus on all the rules we've learned and we're practiced.
More
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
When I was reading the Quran, my mom said when there's a blank alif and there's a lam with a shadda, we can join the previous letter from the last verse to the lam.
Yeah, we can do that as well. Okay, if you wish to carry on, then you can do that as well. But because they're quite long verses, it's best to break it up and then read it as a separate verse afterwards, okay?
Okay.
All right, no problem. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. If you could have another student, please.
1484.
1484. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to start with Dawood and Tasmiya, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Good. Just wait 1 second. Let's just go to Dawood again. Remember, this is alif is separate and the ayn with the dhamma and the waw mud is separate. Okay, so we're going to say a'udhu.
أعوذ.
Good. We're not going to say a'udhu. Okay, that's a common mistake and something we should be correct in doing so. Okay, we're going to say a'udhu.
أعوذ.
Good, well done. And then over here, the meme over here has a vertical fatha. So we need to give it this 2 counts. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Excellent, good, well done. Okay, it's because we read the Dawood and Tasmiya so much that sometimes we need to actually have a look at it in front of us and see exactly what sign, what symbols are on each part of the that verses so that we can apply the rules and the timing correctly. So that's something, just be careful of that. I'm going to ask you to start from the verse 5, okay? So I'm going to read it and I'd like you to repeat after me. الذي أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف. الذي
أطعمهم من جوع وآمنهم من خوف.
Okay, good. Well done. Good. Nicely read. At the end, we're going to end with the sound of khawf. Excellent. Okay, so this kasratain will become a sukoon. So we've learned this previously when we were focusing on rules of pausing, that this is going to be khawf. Good. One more time. Let's do this verse. So alif over here will carry a fatha. So it will be الذي أطعمهم من جوع Good. So over here, you've joined the ayn to the wa mushaddad, and because it carries a kasratain, when we join it, we're going to make a nasal sound in between, applying the rule of idgham. So we're going to say inwa. Good. آمنهم من خوف. Excellent. Good. Well done. Now in this verse as well, particularly, we have to apply the rule of ghunna as well. So wherever we see a noon mushaddad or a mim mushaddad, we have to apply the rule of ghunna. So you can see that we have mim mushaddad here as well. So just be careful with that we're producing the ghunna sound over here as well. Okay. So Jazakumullah 1484 for coming to the mic and reading that for us today. Jazakumullah, Allah Hafiz. Okay, so that was Surah Quraish. MashaAllah, everybody read really nicely, but it's really important that after class you go back, open the Holy Quran, open this surah, which is chapter 106 in the Holy Quran, and revise this and go through this surah so that we can make sure that we are applying all the rules. Your homework for today's class is to practice exercise 22.4 and practice the rule of Hamza on waw. So let's go to that. This is exercise 22.4. We have several examples from the Holy Quran of instances where we find a waw on the letter Hamza on top of a waw. So please go through this exercise, go through those examples so that you are comfortable with this rule and are able to apply it correctly when you see this in the Holy Quran. So please practice exercise 22.4 for your homework. We'll end today's class with a prayer. If you could have a student on the mic, please.
G1 504.
504. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. If you could start with Dawood, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
And Tasmiyah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Good, well done. Allahumma arhamni bil-Qur'anil azim.
Allahumma arhamni bil-Qur'anil azim.
Excellent. And the translation?
O Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran, the Great.
Brilliant. Really nicely read. Jazakumullah for reading that for us. And Jazakumullah to everyone for joining us in today's class. Inshallah, we'll speak to you all again same time tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.